up, Judy and Tracy from Orlando?
Hi from Orlando.
Hi from Orlando.
That was awesome.
Orlando. We are in Orlando, Florida at the pub. And to anybody that is at Advent Health Cancer Institute, keep up the good fight.
Yes. Hi, my name is Brian Hunt, and I just want to welcome you guys to Orlando, Florida. We're here in Orlando, Florida, year-round. We'd love to see you.
Hi, welcome to Orlando. My name is Michelle from Levi's. Born and raised here, fourth generation.
Orlando?
Yeah.
Love it.
51 and fabulous.
Woo! Girl, yes you are.
Thank you.
We are so happy to have you, Danny and Sara-Jane. Oh my goodness, we're on cloud nine. And Sara-Jane, would you start us off by telling us a little bit about Here's Hope Project and how you met Danny and Demi?
Yeah, of course. I've been running the Here's Hope Project for about 10 years now. And it began with me just creating music videos using home photos and videos for families that have kids that are sick or special needs. And then it evolved into like a podcast, a parent blog, original song creations. And now it is evolving into a documentary music video series where I travel to film their stories firsthand. And Danny's is the first in the series, which I am so excited about. Danny, he approached me about a year ago to create a music video for his daughter, Demi. And their journey really hit hard. Demi is so much more than a medical miracle. I can't stress this enough. I really feel connected to this family. The more I talk with Danny, the more in love I get. He doesn't know this yet, but I guess he's finding out now because I'm going to say it. He's stuck with me. This is more than just a film. We are friends for life. Like we better be. But yeah, I just adore them. And Danny is so very open about his struggles and experience as a father. And that in and of itself inspires me because that's not something we hear a lot with guys, and I really, I think, his faith inspires me. The role that music and God has played in his life and even in mine too, it's just a really powerful transformational one. And so the film we're working on, it's going to be called Tested Love, which is actually named after a song that he wrote. And, it's really going to be one that people just need to see and hear because it's just a testament to what God can do in us and through us.
Well, Sara-Jane, before we have Danny speak, it's hard not to want to be your forever friend. You're just so awesome, Sara-Jane. I mean, come on now. We met first in Seattle when I lived there. And yeah, we just are so grateful that you're here to introduce Danny.
I mean, I'd love to hand the mic over to him and get started. I'm really excited for you guys to hear what he has to say.
Awesome.
Hey, Danny, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's great that you're here. Thank you so much for attending, being a guest in the show. Your story is so amazing, and we just love it. Last time we had a talk with you, I know there was a little bit of mist in the air. A little bit of, I'm not going to say tears. Can't do that.
He's going to blame it on the onions that I was cutting
onions. Yeah, she's cutting onions, whatever it was. But it was a little moist in the air. But man, it's such a great story, and it's got to be told. And we're so grateful that you're here to tell the story. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, take a minute or two just to give an introduction, and we're going to go off stage for a minute.
I mean, after Sarah spoke, I feel like I don't have nothing to say. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Gene. I appreciate you guys. Rockstar Diaries, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit about myself and more importantly, Demi, my beautiful daughter that's now just turned 15 and was given 3 days really to live and is nothing short of an absolute miracle. So I am the youngest of 9 children. I have 4 children of my own, 3 boys and Demi. twin boys that are 16, Demi that's 15, and a 12-year-old. Cuban American, born and raised in Miami, Florida. My parents fled communism. They were 4 and 5 years old, respectively, and came here to give us an opportunity to live a free life. Jesuit educated at Belen Jesuit, and eventually went on to get a college degree in business administration. Then went to law school. Been practicing law for a while now, and I got to tell you, Demi, for the last 15 years, has given me such an incredible gift. And I didn't realize the magnitude of the gift until 2023. And I am just super blessed to be able to speak about this, because from incredible pain sometimes, guys, we can have something miraculous occur. And the ultimate question for me is that I came to the painful realization of is the pain going to make me bitter, or is it going to make me better? And my gosh, this has made me significantly better, and I'm very grateful.
We're so glad to have you, Danny. And by the way, we're going to be in Florida this weekend and next week, but we're in Orlando. I think that's like 3 hours away from you.
Yeah.
We would love to collaborate on a song with you and Demi.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be great.
Do you want to go back to the beginning for those who don't know Demi and her story?
Sure. So Demi was born with a very complicated heart defect, and it's called tetralogy of Fallot with pulmonary atresia and MAPCAs. MAPCAs is just a medical term of major aortic pulmonary collateral artery. So she was born without a pulmonary artery, which is very significant, because without that, you really can't oxygenate, and therefore you can't breathe. You can't breathe, you can't live. But Demi, to compensate for that deficiency, her body just had these little collateral vessels that shot off the aorta to the lungs to be able to oxygenate. And in utero, she was diagnosed. Me and Demi's mom were having ultrasounds weekly, because it was a very high-risk pregnancy. And I got to tell you, it was we had an opportunity that they presented to us, and I wouldn't even call it an opportunity. They gave us an option, and very non-bedside like, and they just said, "Oh, so you know what? Your daughter has a very complicated heart defect. She's probably going to have DiGeorge syndrome or Down syndrome. So you can have an abortion." And I'll never forget those words and how it was said. More importantly, and it's so scary. First of all, you hear that, but then you hear how they suddenly can just, with no emotion whatsoever, just say, you can just, have an abortion. No big deal. Like, here, pass me the peanut butter jelly sandwich. And I'll never forget that, because because when you're in such a vulnerable state, something somebody says, especially a doctor, like, you can really consider it and maybe make a very impulsive decision. And I got to tell you, I would have been robbed. Demi's mom would have been robbed. My other children would have been robbed. You guys, the world would have been robbed of such a beautiful story. I'll never forget that, and I'm sorry for repeating it, because it was so profound, and I am so grateful for not even seriously considering it. I told that doctor in a not so nice way and in a very loud Cuban voice. I said, "Listen to me. I'm having this baby. We're having this baby, whether the baby has Down syndrome, DiGeorge syndrome, whatever syndrome. It's our baby, and we're having it." And you know what? That was God speaking through me. I firmly believe that, and I am so grateful, because when people find out Demi Samantha Espinosa's story, it'll blow them away. It'll blow them away.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
You're watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show. We'll be right back.
Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, my team and I are happy to help. We work across all price points and specialize in helping clients relocate from anywhere in the country. Give me a call, 214-708-2450.
You yourself have been through struggles. It seems like your family been through struggles, and you guys are overcomers. And
Big time.
we definitely hear that in your story. So tell us about the struggles, like personal struggles, you faced going through this process.
Yeah. So look, obviously the when you start with, you have, twin boys, and within 15 months, suddenly you have 3 kids, because we had the twins first. Here comes Demi with these medical issues. It affects every facet of your life, right? Not the least of which is mom and dad. It affects, Demi's other siblings.
Mhm.
But I would argue that it's had such a much more profound positive effect on not just, us, but on so many other people. But yeah, that's the outcome. So let's talk about a little bit about the struggles, guys. Been very dark times. I mean, I there were times where, Demi's a baby. She's born at Mercy Hospital. My oldest brother's a Jesuit priest, so he baptizes her at birth. Demi's pediatric cardiologist was there. It was there in the baptisms, Dr. Madeline Moss, and together we're thinking, okay, we don't know what's going to happen. We may say baptize her, and maybe that's it. We leave Mercy Hospital. Demi's mom's in recovery, and I go in a life flight to Nicholas Children's Hospital, because she was born in a Catholic hospital, Mercy Hospital here in Miami. Then we went to another local hospital where they had a very good team of cardiothoracic surgeons and cardiologists and interventionists. And so we went over there, and that's when life really changed. I mean, you start being introduced to all of these doctors. You're dealing with medical terminology in a very unique jargon that you're not really used to. And so you're every other thing that you're telling me, I'm having to do a Google search, right? And it's scary. It's scary, but throughout the last 15 years, there's been ups and downs for sure. The downs have been, man, very dark. And when I say dark, I mean just anxiety, depression, because she gets good, but then she gets bad, and she's a baby. We're having to stick needles in her head because cardiac babies, excuse me, aren't very vascular. And so I remember having to shave her head as an infant, 2 days old, because they had to get a PICC line through her head. And not many people can see that, but God gave me the faith and the strength to persevere, and people's prayers just sustained me through. And it started back, when she was a baby, and then she's had multiple open heart surgeries, too many cardiac catheterizations to count. And then in 2023 or 2022 rather, we were told that she's walking heart failure. And we're like, oh my God, is it going to happen now? Like, is Demi going to leave us and go to a better place? Or we're not prepared for that. And there's Nicholas Children's, which was formerly Miami Children's, then tells us, look, there's nothing else we can do. I'm like, well, something else can be done for sure, and we got to explore it. So my second mother, which is Dr. Madeline Moss, who shares Demi's birthday too, May 21st, she says, look, you're like a family to me. We're going to plan, we're going to do this. And she found, Standford, and we did research, and collectively we came up with this opportunity to start consults with Standford. And let me tell you something about Standford Children's Hospital, also known as Lucille Packard Children's Hospital.
Okay.
It is very hard, to get in there if you're not from California. Very hard. You got to know people, and I knew nobody at Standford. Now I know a lot of people because God is good.
Yes.
But the 2022 and then 2023, when we flew over there, hardest time in my life by a landslide. And what Sarah was saying, tested love, came about when Demi flatlined, and she bled out 4 liters of blood in the OR. And I'll never forget that phone call. Her twin brothers had just arrived. We had already been there for 4.5 months. And, she had already overcome. She had been on life support for 3.5 months. She had overcome being septic, an uncontrolled infection, bad mediastinitis, multiple open heart surgeries just there. And the miracle that occurred at Standford It's going to be a story that's going to be told. And look, I'm going to tell it, but it's not my story really. It's God speaking through me, and I firmly believe that. And what Demi has taught me, you know, they say that the parent is the student. That it could not be truer in my situation. Demi has taught me so much. God has used Demi as an instrument to really allow me to tell her story, and what she's taught me and so many other people. I can't wait to tell it. And I'll say one thing that most people know that know Demi. Demi is an angel roaming the earth. I don't say it because she's my daughter.
Oh,
I say it because that girl, anybody she speaks to, anybody she interacts with, they notice it. And I'm so blessed that God chose me to be her father.
I have to be, I have to be honest. She's made an impact on me, and I haven't even met her yet. You know, I watched the amazing video that Sara-Jane did, and just by hearing you and the love, it's really made an impact on me. And a couple days ago, I was feeling sorry for myself. I wasn't feeling well. I did something to my neck, and you guys came to mind. You guys came to mind, and I said, you have no reason to feel sorry for yourself, Janine. If these guys are, I just can't say enough. Just listening to you talk, just really, do you agree?
What made you the warrior you are? I mean,
yes.
One day you just didn't decide to wake up and say, I'm going to follow God, did you? I mean, there's a warrior process. What made you the warrior through all this battle?
It's a great question. I think God has been preparing me for several years. Mm-hmm. And while it was happening, I can honestly tell you, I probably did not connect with that. There were times where, look, we're whether you're a follower or you're not a follower of Jesus Christ, in the end, you have to recognize, I think, when things are just beyond you. I mean, it's easy to take credit for it, but I can't, because I think what made me the warrior is my faith in Christ, that was instilled in me by my parents, my siblings, and then truthfully, Demi. Demi is, I love all my children, obviously, but my daughter, I'm watching my only princess, right? She's got 3 little soldier brothers that protect her. Not little, actually, quite big. And this girl has managed to give me this incredible strength. And what's incredible to me is she tells me I give her the incredible strength. And so it's this symbiotic relationship that's beautiful. And that what I once thought this experience was my worst nightmare, and let's call it like it is. It's not nice being told your daughter's not going to make it, and living 6 months abroad when it was supposed to be a 2 to 3 week trip, and all of a sudden you're on life support. She can't get off the machine. She's on ECMO, VA ECMO. She's on the ventilator, heart lung machine. I mean, that's tough. And while that's happening, guys, you become so close to the families that travel all over the world. I have this, a family from Samoa. I have this family from Idaho, family from Bolivia, a family from Nigeria, a Florida family that I'll never forget. And I think it's all of that cumulative experience that has forged not only me, Demi, and my family. And I can't be more grateful for it, because when I'm experiencing this in Standford since 2023, incredible how you can connect with gratitude in such a dark place at times. And that's because 13 kids passed away while I was there that I knew. And you become family with those people. You become very close. You roam the same dark hallways at times. You hear the screams at night. You know when they pass, because they put up those barricades with a little butterfly. And it's terrifying, because you're seeing these parents again, and then you're thinking, oh my God, am I next? And so my long-winded way of answering your very simple question is all of that is what forged me. And when you ultimately go through that and come out the end, the positive end anyway, I think you have now a responsibility, and I consider myself to have that responsibility to not only talk about it, but to act it,
Yeah.
and to live it.
Yeah.
You know, that's it's as good as I can put it.
Well, you referred to Demi as the heart warrior, your heart warrior. So we're going to take a pause right now so we can play an amazing video that Sara-Jane has done for you. And so the audience can get to know Demi. Would you mind if we did that?
Of course I would not mind. Thank you.
The air is clear with our loved ones close. You can pick out every star without a telescope. So beautiful to see how we have changed. In time, you know, everything we've lost comes home again, and I will grab onto your arm a little stronger than we were before. I've missed your face. Has it been that long? Looking forward to a fire and a sing-along. Let's stay the same as the children grow, and teach them all the simple things we thought we used to know. So beautiful to see how we have changed. In time, you know, everything we've lost comes home again, and I will grab onto your arm a little stronger than we were before. In a word, in a day, we are all brand new, and it's love that we're fighting for. I'm proud, you know, that we always held out hope. So if you grab onto my arm, let's take a walk until the sun gets warm. In time, you know, everything we've lost comes home again, and I will grab onto your arm a little stronger than we were before.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Every time I watch that video, I get a different emotion. It's so amazing. So Sara-Jane, do you mind talking for just a moment about how you felt doing the video?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, when I create these videos, especially this one, because, you know, music is so powerful at just connecting with us. And, you know, when I made that video, I remember I actually I shared this with someone recently, you know, I just saw myself in it. And especially because so much of it was focused on the role that music played, and Taylor Swift, the role that she had on Demi's healing and recovery. I instantly connected with that because the Here's Hope project, it all started with a song, and it all started with a musician and band called Owl City. And so I immediately just connected with that, like what music did for her and how it played into Danny, and just the inspiration with how, you know, they ended up creating songs and writing songs and doing that kind of stuff together. But it was just, I saw myself in them when I created it, and I felt all the emotions and was crying when I made it. It's just, that's what I love about music. You can really put yourself in someone else's shoes, and you can really not just see their journey, but you can feel it as if you're living it too. And it's just such a life-changing feel. And that's why I absolutely love creating music videos and on a mission to do this because I want other people to see and feel what I do.
And she's so darn good at it too, I must add.
Yes, in fact, we're right now going to put up the QR code and the information that they need for the project, the documentary, and how we can all support that. And I believe that everybody should see the video, the initial video that you did, and look at this information about the documentary, and please support that. These people are amazing.
Woo! A lot of burner out here today, I tell you what. Hey, Myrtle, remember seeing Leonard Skinner down there at the fairgrounds?
You mean in your old pickup truck?
Yeah, that's right. Those were golden years. Headers and Hemis. Sounded like the earth was just opening up. Drove around in that truck. It was awesome, wasn't it, Bubba? Tell you what.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, remember that time we went there on the monster trucks on the beach?
Grave digger. Yep.
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 You know, Myrtle had to hold on to the girls or they were going to fall out.
Earl, we didn't have kids back then.
I know.
That's funny right there. Girls.
Yeah. You know, I've been looking around. I can't find my concert t-shirts anywhere.
Trash. Remember when we went to the Texas Roadhouse? Well, I had a garage sale.
Garage sale? You telling me that you traded my concert t-shirts for a steak?
I told you so. I told you.
And you knew?
Well, Earl, I don't see you cooking any meals.
You're probably thinking about donuts. Tell you what. Is that Cletus and that dang dumb silent car again? That jalopy, I tell you what, he almost hit Myrtle and me. We're walking the other day.
Yes, they're hard.
You can't hear it coming. They should have a whistle on it or something. We're like, hey, watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please.
The beach.
Down the beach, that's right.
Beach.
Gotta do something about that. Oh, wait a minute. Dang squirrels.
Earl, you missed dadgummit. You need some new eyeglasses.
Glasses? Well, maybe so.
I'll set that up right now, bless your heart.
You know what, Myrtle? I think Jesus wants his Doobie Brothers t-shirt back.
Yeah, Jesus still all right with me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he wants his donuts.
Right.
He loves Elvis.
Sarah, you said something in there about healing. Music is healing, and that is so true. And there's so much to go beyond that, like music therapy and all that. And I know, Danny, you had an encounter with music therapy. Can you go into detail and tell us that great story?
Yes.
Oh man, I this is one of my favorite topics, guys. I met this guy named Dan at Standford. I didn't even know a job like this existed, but what an awesome human being. This guy goes around the intensive care units, the pediatric intensive care unit, the cardiovascular intensive care unit, with a push cart. And it's a music cart. It's a maroon cart. Just seeing the cart made me smile.
Did you say maroon?
It was a maroon colored cart. And it was the best thing. I could have been the things we remember, right? I could have been having just cried from doctors telling me horrific news. We have an uncontrolled infection. We're giving her the biggest and the baddest, antibiotics, and it's not working. And now she's septic, and we would still do music therapy. And Demi was out, but she was there in that room, and we would play music. Dan would come in. It was so healing for me. You know, so instead of going and having the desire to disconnect in some unhealthy fashion, right? Connected with music. You have this amazing human being coming by with a variety of instruments. I mean, it's like a circus on wheels, but just for music. And he brings out and he makes the kids that can't even really move. He gives them an instrument, and before you know it, these kids are actually moving when they haven't moved for weeks or if not months. Because the music awakens them. And let me tell you, there are videos that I have of Demi in a coma and where she's very sedated and put on a paralytic intentionally because it was just very high risk and we couldn't risk her moving. But when I would play music, she would even jolt. She'd move a shoulder, she'd move like that, and that to me, I mean, it makes me want to cry, honestly, because I think of how amazing she was when she was in such a very bad place, and music inspired her. It helped us. It was the way we communicated because she couldn't talk. She had, rather than getting the trach early, she got intubated. She was intubated for a very long time, and I'm talking months, which is very rare. And so music was the way we communicated. And she would write when she was awake, she'd write on an iPad. And at times she didn't even have the strength to even push, letters on an iPad. So we would communicate with like fingers or this, and we put music. And when we put music, it's like if we were talking, but we weren't. We were just listening. And I would hold her hand, then she squeezed my hand, I'd squeeze her hand, and it was such a beautiful thing. And I gotta tell you guys, the day that Demi flatlined and it got really bad, God spoke to me through music. And that's when I went out on a balcony and I said, my God, I'm not gonna lose my baby. And I wanted to just, I'd sometimes leave the hospital, do something else, just because the pain was just there for so long. And it would get a little better, but then it would get worse. And my God, with all the people's prayers sustaining me really around the world, and the beautiful people I met at Stanford and Stanford University, I went out on a balcony and I just wrote a poem for my daughter. And I said, you know what? I'm going to turn this into a song. So God allowed me to connect with music and use music to really avail myself of a very healthy out. I've seen a lot of the unhealthy ones. I've engaged in those over the course of my life at times. But during my darkest time, I engaged in the healthiest one imaginable. And that is pick up a guitar. And that's what I did. And my goodness, picking up that guitar, what it did. And I wrote such a beautiful song. And with this music therapist, which was twice weekly, the memories Demi and I have, the fact that the music therapist would listen to the song, and we actually ended up recording the song Tested Love in a hospital room, is about as organic and as beautiful as it can get. And that's why this story is so awesome, because it's so unplanned, it's so raw, it's so real, and people see it. I don't have to advertise it. Why? Because the minute they hear it, they know the authenticity that attaches to it.
I cannot wait to hear that. And I hope you don't mind. We're going to pause for hard question. We like asking our guests, because I don't know, you just kind of blew me away on everything that you just said. We don't even have to talk anymore about how music is healing from an emotion, but also scientific, medical point of view. But we have a hard question for you. You ready?
All right, shoot.
Okay, now I have to read this. This is pretty good. Good question here. If you had all the money in the world and could buy a guitar,
any guitar,
from someone who was famous, dead or alive, what guitar pick would you use?
Zach Brown, undoubtedly.
Wow. That didn't fool him one bit.
You just
let me guess.
There was no pause there.
Let me guess. You're a lawyer. Is that true?
It is.
We wanted you to laugh.
Smartest of women.
You're watching the Rockstar Diaries TV show. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's Wet in Bed with the Smiths. That's right, we're gonna water the Smith right here because it's parched. Got the hose out, let's get it ready. Let me help you out. Well, that went well.
Oh, jeez. Let's talk about one of my very favorite plants, the elephant ear, otherwise known as colocasia. You start with giant elephant ear bulbs that you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot, but this is very critical. It took me 4 years to figure out how to grow them so they're healthy and big. In the Texas dirt, you have to have fertilizer for trees and shrubs. It is a must. And then you get your beautiful, lovely ears. Oh yes, they blow in the wind. I'm ecstatic. And look at my hosta, hydrangea, and Japanese maple. This is the largest they've ever been. Yep, fertilizer makes all the difference in the world. See some of those videos of you and pictures, and I can see the smiling. I mean,
the good time on your faces.
And it's because of gratitude. It's because of your faith. I could see that. Do you want to say anything more?
What I started to connect with is the joy of seeing Demi open her eyes. The joy of the day when Demi was able to come off one of the life support machines. The joy of, this is going to sound weird, gratitude that I connected with when I would hear those screams at night and I knew what they meant, that was not my child. And at first there was a guilt embedded in that feeling, but God doesn't want us to feel guilty. We're all suffering. And I think it's connecting with those little bits of gratitude throughout that very painful journey is what helped reshape and actually, back to your earlier question, helped fortify the warrior spirit, really, because again, will that pain make you bitter or will it make you better? At times I was bitter, but man, I have such an obligation now to not only my children to walk the walk, but I feel like I am being called to tell this story and to help people, because I know what it's like to feel alone. I'm in Miami, born and raised. All of a sudden I get sent off to Standford, which was a tremendous opportunity. But then I'm there and I have to move there while my 3 boys are back here with their mother and I'm alone over there. Thankfully, I have family that would fly over occasionally, friends that would fly over occasionally, but it was scary. And there were times where I didn't think not only Demi was going to make it, but I'll be very candid. When they were telling me it's not looking good, I did momentarily connect with a very dark thought of, if I don't take my angel out of this place, 2 of us aren't leaving this place. And then I was like, wait, time out. Whoa. I checked into therapy and I was like, listen, I just had this thought. And when I got to go see this therapist in California, which I would ride my bike to all the time, she told me, she's like, Danny, do you recognize that your daughter's dying? And you have a bond with your daughter for the past, at the time, 14 years of life? And that your daughter's, possibly going to pass away? That's perfectly normal. That person speaking those words to me meant something that it's hard to articulate. It sounds so simple, but to me it was like, poof. If just one person is impacted by Demi's story and me being able to tell it, that's worth it for me because I already went through the pain. Demi already went through the pain. And you know what? We're not done. We're
not done yet.
We're not done. We're gonna keep going through stuff, but at least you know what? We're both jacked up. We both got some serious muscle now. We're ready. December when we came back, we went back for a follow-up. They told us that we have a good 18 months of solid no intervention. Right, that can change, but I am celebrating that all day long. Exactly. Raise the roof there, Janine.
I am. And you also shared some things that I remember we just were in shock about. It had to do with the sport.
How Demi is looking forward to, she says things to me like that because she was out of school for a year, then I had to homeschool her when we got back because she wasn't cleared to go to school. And now she's saying things like she had to learn how to walk again. She was a stick. You know, she didn't eat for a good 4 months. Yeah, she was being given stuff, you know, directly through an NG tube. But to think that this girl, less than a year and a half ago, couldn't even walk, learned how to walk again, now is running, now goes to PE, and then on top of that is going into high school now and is telling me, Dad, you know what? I think I'm going to want to try out for lacrosse. And I'm like, you know what? It's a beautiful thing. Because when she was in a bed, I would have given everything in the world for her to speak to me, to tell me, Dad, I want to try out for lacrosse. Go for it. Yeah. Do it. The doctors say we're good, we're good. And Demi's just the best. That's plainly and simply. She is my angel. I always tell her, I go, look, you're my hero. And she goes, Dad, you're my hero. I'm like, no, you're my hero.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her.
You know, there's so many layers of breakthroughs that you guys have gone through. You layered and a layer of breakthrough on top of breakthroughs. And in between there, you were talking about music and Demi's favorite music star. And tell us that story.
How did Taylor Swift come into the mix? At one point, I couldn't really get Demi to move much because she's in pain, because she's sad, because she's crying. She can't talk, but she's crying, you know, and she's telling me, she's like, I just want to go home. And I go, we're going to go home, baby. I promise you. And look, I felt guilty about it for a little bit, guys. But was I not telling Demi the truth of what they were telling me? Yeah, I wasn't. Because I made a judgment call. And I said, if my daughter checks out, she's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was her spirit and her mind of just, I'm going to keep going, that helped us get through it. But when there were down times, how did I lift her up? Playing Taylor Swift songs. And it got to the point where I would not only play it on the iPad or on my phone, but it became a little bit of an obsession. So much so that this guy became a Swiftie.
Oh, she is amazing as a songwriter.
She is. She's amazing. And I started reading the songs because hearing them is one thing, but when I read it also, man, she's so good. She's so talented, and what she's been able to do and the crowd she amasses at these concerts.
Yes.
And I started learning all her songs, and then I started learning on the guitar. I not only just learning to sing them, but then started learning to play them. And so when I play those Taylor Swift songs, oh my goodness, this girl, even if she was sedated, you would see her rocking a shoulder. She would move her hand. It was so awesome. And you know, if I had one thing to tell Taylor Swift, and it's really not Taylor Swift, it's more like Taylor Swift's team.
Yes.
If Taylor Swift were to actually see Demi's story, I have all the faith in the world in that woman because she's such a good person. She's such a good woman. Despite the mischaracterization, despite people talking about political faith, all that is garbage. We're talking about kids. We're talking about life. We're talking about death.
Yep.
She's a good, loving person. In the world, we're all called, regardless of whatever religion or whatever walk of life you come from.
Yes.
Do good and be good. She does both. We can nitpick some things that she may not do well or that people don't like, but she's an awesome human being, okay?
Yes.
She's a phenomenally talented artist. And in the end, I would just say, Taylor, if you ever watch this, have your team just send a little note to Demi. Hey, Demi, you are an inspiration. We love you. Taylor Swift. It doesn't have to be anything big. Do we want to meet her? Sure, I want to do anything for my daughter. Why? Because that's another thing, guys. When you're in that space and you're so desperate as a parent, you want to do something for your kid. Yeah, fine, I was an advocate. Great. But you want to bring, your kid doesn't appreciate your advocacy at that age. They're just thinking life and death. But I wanted to do something for her. And we made it to the concert.
So,
well, we just like to say thank you for being on the show. You were amazing. The story is amazing. We would love to get together and meet you and Demi and just get those songs going, get it churning, because you know what? We need music in ourselves too to enlighten us.
Can you hear me? Do you see me? Or am I just another wave to hit the shore? Will you hold me up? Or will you scold me? Can I prove to you that I am so much more? I'm a quiet warrior. I'm a force of nature. I'm not a waste of time. I'm a quiet warrior. I am my future. I don't waste no time. Crazy ocean waves cannot drown me. I am here, and I am strong. There's no way to keep me down. I can hold me up. I can love me. I don't need to prove I'm so much more. 'Cause I have a voice. I have the choice to be someone who lives without the noise. I'm a quiet warrior. I'm a force of nature. I'm not a waste of time. I'm a quiet warrior. I am my future. I don't waste no time. Crazy ocean waves cannot drown me. No, they can't drown me. Can you hear me? Do you see me? 'Cause I'm not invisible. I'm a quiet warrior. Quiet warrior. I never wasted time. We are quiet warriors. Quiet warriors. No more wasting time. Hold your head up.
dedicate that to you, Demi. You're a quiet warrior.
But yeah, if you could give parting words of wisdom for those who might be going through a similar situation, feeling all alone in a different state, all of those different things.
Pray and stay positive. Do your best to connect with all the good things. The bad comes and it's there, but do your best to really connect with people. And to do, my healthy out was music. Do something that you like, because it is a journey that is really unimaginable. Speak to somebody about it, whether it's a therapist, whether it's another family experiencing that pain. I promise you that you're going to be far better off. And the best advice I can give to those kids right now that are suffering and their families is, you're going to make it. Think positive. Think positive and give it your best shot, because live every moment, every breath, be there, be present. And that's the greatest gift, is that gift of having those little joyful moments. Not everybody's going to live the same length of life, but it's not the quantity of the life that you live, it's the quality. So make the most of it.
Epic golden nuggets for us. I love it. And Sara-Jane, you're going to be on a future episode to discuss in more detail Here's Hope Project and what you're working on. But do you have any parting words of wisdom?
Stay tuned. I mean, please, like Facebook, Instagram, follow Here's Hope Project. We're going to keep sharing Danny's story. Like I said, I think I said in the beginning, this is so much more than a film. This is about getting his story out there now, and just getting people to hear it. And just when it comes to his film, you know, we're calling it Tested Love after a song. I think he spoke about, you know, being on the balcony and just pouring his heart out to God and just writing poetry. And this song was born out of so much pain and trauma, but it turned into the most beautiful thing. But just come along this journey with us and with Danny and support his journey and get his story out there.
Awesome.
Thank you both. We are very honored to have you. We love you. We can't wait to meet Demi. We can't wait to see the documentary. It's going to go skyrocket high. Woo! Woo!
She always connects with people. When she says bye, she's like, peace and love.
Yeah. Oh.